Good morning, everyone. But there's been something missing. There's been something kind of holding it all back. It's always been trapped behind a 2D display. As hard as you try to imagine actually being there, being inside of the game, you're simply not. Your brain knows you're sitting in that living room. You're playing the game on a TV. I'm excited to show you the Oculus Rift. This is it. This is the Oculus Rift. And now, in virtual reality, in the Oculus Rift, you're going to find yourself reminding your brain that this is not real. You're going to be doing the opposite. You're going to try to convince yourself, don't worry, that dinosaur hovering over me, it's not actually real. And a new constellation tracking system. With this tracking system, you have very precise low latency movement. There's an external sensor that you put on your desk. It's simple and reserved. Developers are going to be able to create all kinds of revolutionary experiences. Some seated, some standing. It couldn't just be visual, it also had to be audio. You had to hear the sound effect happening right where you thought you saw it, and you can turn and look. You had to get that audio cue. Imagine he's coming down this hallway. You hear him off into the distance. It needs to sound like he's off in the distance. As you turn and look and you feel the rumbling of him coming down the hallway, all that audio must be spatialized. It must be 360. It must match the visual cues. And that's what the VR audio system is all about. And the Oculus Rift delivers it. Some people want to bring their own headphones. So we've made them really easy to take right off. They're removable. You're going to put it on like a baseball cap. You're going to toss it right on. It's going to be simple and easy. Now, one thing we noticed along the way is that everybody has a different distance between their eyes. So we've added a nice convenient dial that allows you to adjust the lens distance. So you can get those lenses right in the center of your eye. And we've evolved the form factor to better accommodate glasses. Is that including a gamepad in this generation of the Rift is really important. That we're going to include a wireless Xbox One controller and adapter in the Oculus Rift.
To every Oculus user at launch, the ability to stream Xbox One games to Windows 10 devices. Same streaming capability will be available for Oculus Rift. Spent a lot of time perfecting and the ability to work with the team at Oculus to create a virtual cinema where Xbox One games will show up.
Company vision is to create virtual worlds more meaningful than real life. E-Valkyrie is the closest thing you're going to get to being a real spaceship fighter pilot. Gameplay trailer.
Welcome, pilot. Begin systems check. Navigation systems online. Weapons online. Engines online. Magnetic catapult initialized.
Hold on tight, we're ready to deploy.
Launching in 3, 2, 1.
Missions are pretty routine, so let's use the time wisely and brush up on your flight skills. Activate boosters and group at the waypoint.
Estimate 3 Tower, this is Convoy Hawk 6 Heavy. Copy. Estimate 3 Tower. This is Convoy Hawk 6 Heavy. Do you read?
Where are you going, pilot?
No response from Esme 3 Tower. Hold bearing and continue approach pattern.
I don't like this. Something's up. Stay close. Cabot to all fighters. Align on Vector 3-9er. You've got multiple hostiles inbound. Form up on me and prepare to defend the carriers. If we lose them, we're stuck out here. Check your 6. Good kill. We're taking heavy losses here. Now hold them off. You head for our last carrier. See you in the next life.
It's called Kronos. Let's have a look. Kronos is an atmospheric RPG that plays out of the course of a young man's life, chronicling his quest to free the land from the curse of an evil dragon. And central to his quest is an ancient labyrinth, one that only opens once a year. But the labyrinth is the test. Each time the hero fails, he is cast out and must wait a year to return. So as the game plays out, our hero ages, and the gameplay changes significantly. As a young man, he's quick and nimble. As he grows older, he becomes a tougher and more seasoned warrior. And as an old man, he's frail, more reliant on his wits, magic, and knowledge of the vast labyrinth to overcome its obstacles and save his home.
Edge of Nowhere is Insomniac's brand new third-person action-adventure exclusively for the Rift. Travel to the frigid reaches of the Antarctic in search of a missing expedition.
Victor, if you find this, let me go. Only madness lies ahead. You must believe me. You shouldn't be here.
That we will be investing more than $10 million toward accelerating the development of these sorts of innovative, one-of-a-kind, independent games on the Rift.
We've built Oculus Home for VR first and foremost. I can check out my games library. Maybe I want to play something right now.
Or maybe I want to check out some of the top games that others are playing. But because we're already here in virtual reality, we can put you straight into a VR preview of the game before you even buy it. We can see here that Palmer's actually causing some havoc in Eve Valkyrie. And I can join him directly from VR and dive straight into the fray without ever taking the Rift off.
You've heard us say input is hard.
But what about future games and future experiences that can only be unlocked with a different input device? Once you have your hands involved, you really need tracking to be absolutely perfect, accurate, and low latency, or you're going to feel like your hands are dead. For example, you need to be able to pick up a gun from a table and then fire it, throw it, or drop it effortlessly without even having to think about it. Overall, we wanted a design that was low mental load. We also wanted to enable communicative gestures for social interaction. There's 2 controllers, 1 for each hand. You have 2 hands. Each of these Half Moon controllers has a traditional analog thumbstick, 2 buttons, and an analog trigger. But they also have something else that we call the hand trigger. You can see the trigger right there under my middle finger. Touch can detect a set of finger poses using a matrix of sensors mounted throughout the inside of the device. Together, they work to recognize natural hand poses like pointing, waving, or giving a thumbs up. Punch garden gnomes, play tetherball. The last few years have been incredible for virtual reality. If you were to show someone a video of this event today, or heck, even all the technology that's in the virtual reality industry across all these different companies, not just Oculus, if you took a video of that and showed it to someone 3 or 4 years ago, they would have thought that it looked like a science fiction film. But this isn't science fiction. This is reality, and it's happening today. Thank you. I'll see all of you at E3.